Welcome back. I drew 4 cards right away when I woke up this morning, long before I did this read, or I'm doing this read with you. So I will be drawing new cards as well, but I thought, why not review these cards? So obviously they're the first cards I saw this morning when I woke up. By the way, I did wake up at 3 a.m. to news of a war with Iran. And so I think when I drew these cards, that's where my headspace was. Okay, so stop doubting your divine self. For those who do not know, we are all divine. Growing up in a religious environment, I probably would be considered blasphemous for saying this. I know there were religious leaders tried to say only they were divine. There's churches that say only Jesus was divine, God the Father, the Holy Spirit, that's the only divinity, blah, blah, blah. I don't mean to minimize it, but when you learn that these were lies and controls and ways to turn people into a slave force, then you start to think like, yeah, let's expose it for what it is. Now, was it one big giant deliberate lie, or did it evolve over time? I'm catching that, it evolved over time. Things happened, whatever. All these different controlling forces have tried to control us in different ways, and it's just so much harder to control somebody when they know that they are divine. So, if my messages seem crazy and unbelievable and mostly stuff that doesn't make sense to you right now, and remember, everything is crazy until it's understood, right? Like, there's always a point where something was beyond the realm of our comprehension, and in fact everything we're learning was sort of beyond our comprehension. I know for some of us really sensitive types who kind of go out of our way not to hurt other people, even though we seem to do it accidentally anyway. But it's like, yeah, we're not able to comprehend what we're learning in this world right now. So I think it's so important that we understand that there is so much more than this evil earth we are trapped in right now. And when you know that, you know that whatever kills you, you wake up on the other side. You don't miss a beat. I mean, there are people who are reaching out to their best friend the day after they die. And they're, when their best friend happens to be a channeler, and they're like, hey, I'm here and I'm wonderful and it's amazing. So just know, you cannot be controlled. Do not doubt your divine self. And of course, I like to read the booklet, because at the time that I made the booklet, I was also just in a flow, and I don't believe these words were words I have ever talked about. I never called myself divine. I didn't really talk about the soul at all. I mean, general terms like they don't have a soul, what does that mean? I was almost to the point where I believed we must be AI, and some of us were more sophisticated than others. Not AI, we were androids, but I had not come to the conclusion that I do have a soul that is infinite, that I am one of the creators, that we have created this realm and all the other realms, including heaven, and that when we never die, we're just in a different dimension. And it combines neuroscience and quantum physics and spirituality, and it's like a whole different thing. It's not religion, it's not about control, it's not about worship. Anyone who says that they should be worshipped is a liar. I'm never even going to put my face on camera, because I am no one. I am just messenger. I am sending messages to the universe, to however few see them, maybe none. It doesn't matter to me. I don't pay much attention to that. I mean, if I see people comment, I would love to comment. If you would like to become friends, meet in the real world, hang out, chat, and talk about this stuff, great. But I am not here for any type of attention or anything else. But these paintings came to me in kind of a fasting, meditative state, listening to sound bath music. The art came to me first, and then the messages for the guidebook. And now I'm putting the videos out there because I did all this work. And the next thing that my spirit led me to do was to start sharing these messages. Some will probably be better than others when I'm really able to channel. Sometimes I'm able to channel, but I'm still very new at it. And because of that, I can't control it the way many who do these shows do. All I can do is draw the cards and read you the messages that did come to me through channeling when I wrote these messages. So here it is. Stop doubting. You are only weak if you believe your existence is limited to this earthly experience. And wow, it's such a powerful message, and it's so true, because if you thought this was it, I mean, it's kind of terrifying in a way. I was like, oh my God, I haven't been to all the continents. I haven't done any of the things. I'm so scared. I don't want to die. I'm not ready. I didn't get to do all the fun things. And then I find out, like, my ex died, walked out of here, and he was doing all the fun things on the other side. There's no limits to the other side. There's no evil either. It's an unconditionally loving space where you find out that you have a uniqueness to you that makes you special, that makes everyone special. And you're loved and hugged and comforted and made to feel amazing. So stop doubting your divine self. Card number 2. The Intuit. Answers Within. Okay. I don't even think I have this one in my guidebook because this is my complete set and beyond. Meaning it's things I'm not including in like a 78 card or 80 card deck. But I made my own printing of pretty much everything I did. So I'll look though. Maybe I'm wrong. Actually, if I did delete it, it's only because I didn't like the way the blue printed. Being very particular for the final deck. So, let's see. Yes, I removed it. Just going to try to see if I get any other messaging about this. I guess it's just really important to take advantage of all the toolkits that you have. If your algorithm is not sharing the right stuff, I can give some suggested readings. Suzanne Geisman, amazing. I have her app. I'm unfortunately not giving a good reference right now, but I've learned so much from her books and from her app and from her podcast. And she is an amazing channeler. A former high-ranking Navy personnel, I believe. Suzanne Geisman. Yes. So use the resources that you have. Another person that I've really drawn to was Buddha Betty, who had a near-death experience. And I heard about her on Dr. Mayim Bialik. And if you don't follow Dr. Mayim Bialik, otherwise known as Blossom or Big Bang Theory, Dr. Amy Farrah Fawcett. I love her. I follow her podcast, and it combines spirituality and neuroscience. You probably know she has her actual PhD, and I think a couple areas. Brilliant. If you follow her podcast, you will learn kind of separately so much more about the soul and about who you are, just because she's done so many interviews with near-death experiences. In fact, that's where I saw my first one, which was with Buddha Betty. And then, of course, anytime something is that amazing, it was like, how have I not heard a near-death experience before? because it's just amazing. And I'm a curious and inquisitive person who always wants to know more. So I really didn't understand why this was something I hadn't ever gone down this rabbit hole of information seeking. But what it has done is it has changed the course of my information seeking forever in a way that is more positive as opposed to negative. So yes, there's a lot of information you could be chasing down right now about sleuthing down who did this and who did that. And let's just face it, there's a lot of evil out there, and it's a lot about control, and it's a lot about this karmic reincarnation cycle we're trapped in, and this world of sex and regular slaves that we're living in. Here is this school, but why wouldn't you want to learn more about this? Why wouldn't you want to expand your mind about this? So I say this card means find all the ways to learn as much as you can. You don't have to listen to me. You don't know me from Adam. I could be any crazy person saying any crazy thing, and it's totally true. Anyone can be doing this. But what is kind of amazing is the more of them you start to listen to, they're all kind of channeling the same information from a bunch of different sources. And you could say the Bible is one of them, and you could say astrology is one of them, and you could say neuroscience is one of them, and you could go on and on and on, and it would all connect beautifully together, because I cannot even emphasize, and the part that made me so happy was to find that all of us as a collective have brilliantly crafted the perfect place with all these clues and all these revealing things. Everything means something. I used to say, well, but DNA, I don't get it. It sounds like we could build everything with it. So how are we not a thing? Wait, what? So yeah, take advantage of the resources. And if you want to connect with those on the other side of the veil, learn how. And that is where Suzanne can help you. And also Darius Wright. He is one of the first out-of-body experience persons that I followed. And to this day, he does paintings of, or I don't know, he does illustrations of what he sees on the other side. And he explains everything because he's been doing it often, at least like weekly for his entire life, essentially. So he has learned so much on the other side of the veil, and he has courses on helping you have an out-of-body experience yourself. So, it's going to be different living through other people's out-of-body experiences than having your own, when you actually feel yourself in your soul body, as opposed to in this body. When people go into that body and when they experience that for themselves, it changes them deeply. And I truly believe it based on these people that I follow, and their energy and the aura that they have. I mean, they are blessed people. And I think learning discernment, right? Because you're going to find fear-based people out there too. And Darius taught me that anything that is fear-based is garbaggio. Because in our world, there's no such thing. I mean, we're love and light, love and light, love and light. When we leave Earth, what we focus on is what we did that was not in love and light. And speaking of that, let's move on to this creepy third card. I always paint beautiful women my entire life. Girls, women, cute people. This was my first stab at a truly creepy one. To make the Devil tarot card, number 15. So I did draw the devil today, and right away my mind went to, where am I stuck? What am I doing? And I know where I'm stuck, and I know what I'm doing. So let's read what the card says. Free yourself from anything that doesn't bring love and light into your life. It's time to stop being stuck. Yes. So a lot of times we see this and we think about addiction. And when we think about addiction, we think about alcohol. And we should, because alcohol is poison and slowly killing us. And it's kind of hilarious that people get rich off of slowly killing us, much like everything else on this earth is designed to slowly kill us. And our products are designed to completely disintegrate into nothingness. I can't get a printer to print for me every day for 2 weeks without dying. That's how obsolete they are. I mean, everything here is just for crap. Everything is for crap. So addiction is about so much more. It can encompass so many things, but it's also just, where are you stuck? Where are you stuck? Because getting through the difficult times, getting through a war or anything else that we're going to discover and find out is going to be hard. So you've got to find time to do the work. And interestingly, you can kind of do all that at the same time. Number one way is through psychedelics. Let me tell you, it's no coincidence that our government, they like people on psychedelics that are working for them and helping them, but they don't like them becoming too open-minded and sharing too much with everybody. So yeah, do the work, do the psychedelics, do what you need to do. Get through your trauma. It's going to be tough. I'm telling you, we're having tough days. Those of us who are trying to keep our energy up, trying to keep our spirits up, trying to stay up to, keep that human's resonance. I'm probably even pronouncing it wrong. I'm learning all this stuff randomly through my algorithm at this point. I think one thing led to another. But, a lot of things I've never even heard of. So if I'm even pronouncing it wrong, it's because I've only read it and I never heard anybody talk about it. But yeah, there's this thing where they measure kind of the energy of the world, and it keeps rising because energy rises when people get angry, when people revolt, when people buck the system. And, I have been wanting to buck the system since I was born. I've never liked the system. I was actually a pretty gifted kid. I taught myself how to read when I was still basically about 2 years old. I wrote a trilogy when I was 5. It was intended to help my mom escape my dad, but it was like way too, I see now it was way too cryptic. Anyway, but yeah, I had a lot of, I was trying to use kind of riddles and poetry and prose to get points across that I didn't think I could directly say. And that's kind of been a struggle my entire life, really. But now I'm to that point where I'm saying whatever I want. So there's that. And I'm not really caring who cares, because this is literally my school experience on Earth. And I may have people in my soul pod that are here that I love very much that don't like everything that I have to say. But I happen to know that on the other side, we love each other unconditionally. So I can't keep begging you on this earth to forgive me every dang thing I do to offend. But it's definitely not about that. I don't really care to offend people. I've been bullied my entire life. I don't really like hurting other people's feelings. I spend a lot of time over analyzing and worrying about what I've done and said wrong. And that's just, there comes a point when people have to accept that nobody is doing things intentionally to hurt each other. We're all living out our own little play, and we're all seeing what's happening. So we can only try to be our best version, raise our energy as much as we can, work through our sticky issues, whatever it is that's sticking, that's causing us, causing it to be that much harder to get through what we're getting through right now. Now let's go to a positive card. It's so dark in this lighting that I have right now, but it's actually a desert sunset. That one printed a little dark on this particular printer that didn't survive a week. Anyway, the card is called Magnificence. So I would like to go to a more positive card. We all need the pull the devil card to remind us, to do our work. But then it's like, yeah, let's not dwell on it. Let's jump on to the magnificence, as we should. And if I had better lighting, I would be able to find it. Alrighty. You are as amazing as the sunset in the desert. Continue glowing your light. Aww. And yeah, I decided I'm not going to even draw another card. As much as I love my new deck and I love drawing cards. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to say anything else about this, but this is to everybody who's listening. You are as magnificent as the desert sunset. And if you haven't seen it, it's breathtaking. It reminds me of the amazing efforts that went into the creation of all of these places and how fantastic they are. And you are too. You are one of that. You are one of those creators. I am going to draw a card because I can't not. Oh, Fearless. Cool, because it's one I've already done. I don't know if I did record it, but yes. Live, fly, free. I think we got it yesterday, so I'm not going to go about it. I'm just going to say continue to be fearless. See if you're divine. You can't die. What's there to be afraid of? Stick up for what you believe in. Don't get pushed around. Don't be bullied. Ooh. And then I drew death, which always seems so scary until you focus on the rebirth side of things. And every time we get unstuck, we kill it, and then we become a better version of ourselves, the rebirth. So let's read what I say about death. This is death variation that's not actually going to be in my official deck, but my prototype has everything. So yeah, kind of one of a kind. It's again a little too dark to see my glittery crow. I like it. I went with a lighter, not as creepy death rebirth. It says you alchemize your trauma when you lay to rest that which no longer suits you and begin anew. Yes. Alchemize your trauma, dude. That is exactly what I did when I decided to go crazy and start doing this meditative painting journey, which led to 100 paintings in about 2 months. And it was a very cathartic and soul changing experience. And so I highly recommend do your work, get unstuck, be fearless, magnificent. When that old version of you dies and the new one comes to life, take that, alchemize that old crap, turn it into your new magnus opus. Whatever it is, write a book about your life, start a podcast, start some paintings. Even if you've never painted before, I highly recommend it. I was always working on a book in the past, but my new self is like, no, less words, more art. So I hope you enjoy my art. I hope you enjoyed the lengthy one this time. If you made it to the end, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Try to keep your energy going. Keep in good spirits and be mindful of who you spend your time with. I love you. Peace out.